For the first step, we must prepare all the equipment that we use, and we got all the oil that we use.
Now we will take the heat safe glass container and put it on top of the weighing scale to measure out the needed distilled water amount to make the cold process soap. And later we have to measure out the needed citric acid powder to be added into the distilled water, because distilled water in our workplace has been kept for so long, it's around like 1 or 2 months. So in just in case that it should not contain any substances, so this citric acid will once we add it into the distilled water, it will purify and also filter the water. And then the next step is we have to weigh out the lye that we needed for this cold process soap making. So when we are handling with the lye, we have to wear proper protective gear like the gloves, goggles, or if you wear specs, that's complete never mind. And also you have to wear oxygen mask which filter out the air, because this sodium hydroxide can even be in the very smallest particle and also can be mixed together with the air. So this mask especially helps to purify and also filter the air. And later, now we will add the lye into the distilled water solution. So during this process, we will have to work in a well ventilated area, so that because once we added the lye into the water temperature gets rising until 90 Celsius, and also sometimes releases some kind of smoke. So we have to mix until the water gets somewhat clear, and you have to measure out with the thermometer. And after adding all the lye powder into the water, and if there's no any kinds of lye powder in the water, so we can stop and we can put it on top of an ice pack to bring the temperature cool to around 30 Celsius. We need to sanitize all the equipment that needed for the next process in making the cold process soap. So I will be using the rubbing alcohol 99% to sanitize all my equipments, because usually equipment once we washed, we will keep it for 1 to 2 days, and we don't know how many germs and viruses will be spreading around through the air. So this is to save the container so that there is no any cross contamination.
As for the next step, we use the palm kernel oil. We measure the palm kernel oil 250 milliliter, so it can match with the recipe that we use. Next, we take the palm kernel oil and we put it in the large bowl, so we can mix all the oil in the large bowl. Next, we take the coconut oil for the cleaning purposes and we add into the large bowl. Next, we take the castor oil and we measure. Next, we take the pomade olive oil and we measure the oil into the right recipe.
And now we will measure out the sodium lactate. So this sodium lactate helps to smoothen the texture of the soap, so that it can be easily removed from the mold and also easily cut during the drying process. So and for now, I will measure out 10 grams of sodium lactate and add into the cool lye solution. And after that, I will be measuring out the green clay. So as for cold process soap, as for my policy, I do not use any colorants, where I only use nature colorants. So like this green clay powder is from itself is neem leaf. So you just grind the neem leaves, and that's how you get your green clay powder. We will need to add the green clay powder into the oil solution, and once we add that, we have to blend evenly mix. Once it's evenly mixed, then we will need to strain out using the strainer the lye solution, so that there is no any active lye powder in the lye solution.
We will add fragrant essential oil to enhance the scent in our soap. Next, we take the fragrant essential oil to the solution and we mix it using the hand mixer. Next, we will pour the mixture into the mold and then avoid having the bubble in the mixture so that our soap will be better.
After that, we need to let it dry for about 3 to 4 days depending on the soap recipe. So as for my recipe, we need to let it for about 3 to 4 days to dry. So once the soap is thick and hard enough to easily remove from the mold, then we will proceed with the cutting session. So depending on the needed size, I will take around 2.5 cm for each bar. So then we will have to cut one by one soap. After we cut, we will have to dry the soap for 1 month. So after the 1 month period, then only we can use this soap for our daily use.
For 5-step precaution, we have to wear all the safety such as oxygen mask and glove.
Second, work in a well ventilated area. Third, add lye to water, not water to lye. Fourth, use heat safe non-reactive container. Fifth, keep vinegar nearby.